Hello everyone, welcome to a new video, to a new episode of the podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you. If you don't know, my name is Margarida and I have the Human Art Gallery podcast. I'm the host and I'm also here on YouTube and I share with you and I teach about self-development, manifestation, energetics of the universe, God, consciousness, everything, and also feminine energy and masculine energy, everything for you to remember who you are and to live a life of true fulfillment, of knowing truly what can you be, what can you have, because you are everything. And so I'm always like sharing wisdom and teachings on things that I learn mostly and first for myself, and then of course I love to share it with you, to empower you, to uplift you, to inspire you, to also know that this is available to you, and to recognize and remember how reality works, who we truly are. And yes, welcome. And if you're new here, you can subscribe to the channel. You can also rate the podcast. So let's go, because today I'm going to start and I'm going to talk about my trip to the French Riviera. So recently, now it's the 4th of December when I'm recording this. I was in the French Riviera from the 20 to the 25 of November, and I was there solo. So it was just after the trip, I was a little bit sick, which I felt each up levels, each upgrades, and my body is like releasing a lot of things and like purging everything that doesn't serve anymore, to be fully in this new version of me, and constantly shift versions to the ones that are more fulfilling for me in every second, in every minute of my day. But this solo travel was really aligned and was really flowy. You know, when everything just flows so easily during the travel. Nothing happened that was hard. Like, there was no hardship during the travel. There was no misunderstanding. There was no cancellation, no delays. Everything flew so effortlessly. Everything was just so easy, so relaxed. You know, I already had another solo travels where I did go there, and they were very fulfilling, but they were full of like misunderstandings, like the trains were not working, so I need to find a way to go there. So I'm always like carrying my luggage, and you ended up meeting a lot of people. It's a lot of fun. It's like it's memories that you made. But in this trip, I really wanted to have something very relaxed, very connected with my feminine energy, very in tune, a lot of tranquility, very peace. You know, I didn't want to carry my big luggage. I didn't want to have that thing of like feeling exhausted. I didn't want to. I just wanted to feel very at ease and very light. And that's what happened. So I really felt a call to do this solo trip. And just a month before the date that I was going, that's when I more or less bought my tickets, and then later I also booked my accommodation. But I was just feeling very excited to do a solo trip, even though I already did some sort of solo trips. I already have been in places, flew alone and went to places alone, and then maybe after a few days I go somewhere and meet someone. So always was a little bit of combinations of being alone, doing a part of the trip alone, but I always ended up meeting then someone, or like my family or my friends, whatever. But this one, I really wanted to do everything alone. I wanted to put myself out of my comfort zone, and I really wanted to practice, which I'm already really good. I love being with myself. But I really wanted to practice really being with myself and treating myself so kindly, giving so much love to myself, and really recognizing, remembering, and claiming my worth and my value, my self-worth. Yes, that was what I wanted for this trip, was to remember my self-worth, was to claim, was to embody my self-worth, my self-value, my love that I have within me, everything that I have within me, and everything that I have for myself, regardless of anything, of any condition, regardless of anything. That's what I wanted, was to tap into this unconditional love that lives within me and be there for me, validate myself, accept myself, treat myself, in every moment. When you're traveling, you have to you constantly making decisions. You constantly with yourself, you are taking care of yourself. So those are the things that I feel that are so important to build that strong relationship with yourself. Can you make decisions that are really aligned and that are really like following what you feel excited, your enthusiasm, like for example, what do you want to eat for lunch? Follow what you want to eat, and where do you want to go today? And taking myself is like my divine masculine energy, taking myself and taking care of my feminine energy. And I was pretty much like all three very much in my feminine energy, and I was very inward as well. Like even though I did meet a few people and I had very nice interactions, and I ended up meeting a really nice girl as well with a very funny story. But I was more focused inwards because that's the intention that I put for this travel. Like I already had another travels where I was really putting this intention of, oh yeah, I really want to meet a lot of people, having a lot of fun, more like that fun, energy. But this one, I really wanted to be with myself, very connected to my insights, to my downloads, and of course everything around me in the French Riviera is just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I wanted to say it's full of beauty. Like beauty is the word, abundance and luxury. Everything is so beautiful. Everything is so luxurious. And I'm not just saying about the material wealth, but also the nature there with the Mediterranean Sea and the landscape. Everything is very beautiful. Why am I struggling saying that word? I'm mixing beautiful and beauty. Everything was very beautiful and very luxury and very wealthy and very abundant. And I wanted to be in that energy because I really wanted to normalize and neutralize this state, because this is our normal state. And this is also something that I wanted to bring to this episode, is one of my intakes, inspirations, insights, and there were many. I'm not even going to share all of them here, but when one of them, it was based on my experience that follows what I was speaking about. When I went to Monaco for one day, and what I really appreciated when I was there, of course, is like extremely beautiful, extremely abundant, extremely wealthy and luxurious. We all can imagine that. And what I really realized that is having that state of neutrality. I felt very neutral when I was there in Monaco, being surrounded by that amount of luxury and wealth and abundance and beauty. I felt very neutral about it. I felt very natural about it as well. And this neutrality, this naturalness is the state of the wish fulfillment that, for example, Neville Gordon speaks about. The state of the wish fulfillment is not that you are like high and enthusiastic all the time, that you don't feel like denser emotions. You always have to be grateful. You always have to be thinking positive thoughts. You always have to be in this extremely high vibration. That's not the state of the wish fulfillment. The state of the wish fulfillment is a true naturalness and neutrality regarding everything that you desire, knowing that you are one with everything that you desire or everything that you want. So when I was there in Monaco, I felt this sense of neutrality, of naturalness, and I wanted to give you this example. For example, if you are a big car fan, in Monaco you see constantly hundreds and hundreds of really good cars, very high priced cars, luxury cars. And maybe the first one that you see, you're like, oh wow, that's like, oh my God, that's something so cool. Oh my God, what's that? And then after like a day there, you see hundreds of them all the time. It comes to a point that is normal, neutral to you. Like, it's just another one passing by. It's just another noise, because you always hear those cars making noises in Monaco constantly. And you just feel, yeah, like, that's another one. Okay, cool, nice. That's the neutrality of it. That's the naturalness of it. Because if you think about whatever you desire, and you think about that version of you that has what you desire, and let me tell you that you are that version of you. There is nothing stopping you to embody that version now and to be that version now. It's just your choice. If you think about that version that has whatever you desire, she feels natural towards it. Neutrality around whatever she's experiencing internally and externally in the physical world. So it's the example of when you have a new phone or you have a new laptop. Like in the first days, you feel very excited about it. You feel very, oh my God, what's this? After a while, you get used to it, right? It's just so normal to you. It's natural to bring your phone and to send a message from that new phone. It's natural to have that new laptop. It becomes natural to you. You are that person that has that phone. You are that person that has that laptop. You have this neutrality around the thing. You are not wanting and desiring it and chasing it anymore because you have it. So you do feel neutral. And this is what happens when we recognize and we accept that whenever we have a desire, it's answered. Like the desire and the creation, the manifestation happens all at the same time. There's no separation because you are one with God. You are God's source. You are God's energy. You are God's consciousness. You are the source energy. So whenever you have that desire, that's the inner source. That's the source within you. Having that desire, then the manifestation is instantaneously and it's already made. It's already created. There's no lack. There's no separation. So when we know that whenever we have a desire, we close our eyes, we know that we are one with that, we know that we have it. You then, if you truly accept that, if you truly recognize that you are consciousness, everything is consciousness, everything you can think of, imagine of, desire of, everything already exists. What you're already doing, what you are only doing is becoming aware and remembering that you are that thing, that you are that person, that you have that thing. You're just becoming aware of it in that moment. When you do become aware that you are that thing, you have that thing, you are that thing, you are that version, you are that identity, you are that person, then you feel normal towards the thing. You feel normal towards that version. You feel normal towards those previous desires because now you understand that they are not on a pedestal. They are not out there far away for you to make this path in order for you to prove yourself to then be worthy of receiving them. Like that's not what happens. So then when you feel that sense of neutrality, of naturalness, that's when, of course, you are making that choice internally to be that version, to have that thing, and you know that you do. So of course the physical world around you, that is your mirror, your reflection, is going to adjust and it's going to conform to your inner reality. Like the external reality doesn't hold any power. It will always be your shadow, your mirror will always conform to the shifts that happen within you. So this state of neutrality is something that I'm putting in practice in my life so much, and I know that in the past was the reason that I was, air quote, not experiencing things in the physical world, because I was still choosing the version of Margarida that didn't have that thing, that I was still waiting for that thing, that thought that thing was out there in a pedestal separate from me, that I needed to work more to get it, that I needed to become someone like really amazing, really cool, to have that thing. And I didn't have that sense of neutrality. I was putting my worth on that desire, and it's just silly because that desire exists from you. Everything happens from you. So everything happens from consciousness, through consciousness. You are the life itself. Everything happens from you. Nothing happens randomly. An opportunity, for example, doesn't pop up out of nowhere. That opportunity is simply a reflection of the version that you're choosing to be internally. It's not something that you attracted, it's something that you created, and it's a reflection of the state that you have internally, of the identity that you chose to be, of the person that you chose to believe that you are inside of you. What stories are you believing about yourself? So when we have this state of neutrality, for example, around money and abundance and love, everything that you desire, and knowing that those are natural things for you to experience, just by you having that desire, there are things that are made already, there are things that are available to you, waiting for you to occupy the version of you that knows and sees herself as a person that has that, as a person that is that. So they are not far away from you. They will only exist when you choose to know and to remember, to recognize and accept that you have that and you are that. Otherwise, they will not exist. So they depend on you to exist and not the otherwise. And this is something that I really wanted to touch on here, because it's something that I recognized when I was in Monaco, that this state of neutrality shifts your life. You feel whole and complete here now. You stop chasing things outside of you, because you remember that the outside is simply a mirror of you, and the rest is an illusion. The people that tell you no, doesn't matter. Drop those stories of separation, of only fixating on what is the physical world. That's why you are the creator, because you can look on the physical world, which is giving you exactly the perfect mirror to what is happening inside of you, and you can choose, I want something different, so I'm going to shift something inside of me, and I'm going to now become and access and be this version that I want to be, and act from like her, and speak like her, and move like her, and then the physical world will shift. It's always the feedback. The physical world is always the feedback from internal reality. So when you do normalize, for example, that state of abundance and of wealth, it's normal, was normal for me to be in such a wealthy places. That's how normal it is. It's not something that I was like, oh my God, I don't belong here. You do belong to those places. Those places exist because you do exist. And I always felt this interest, like this deep down inside of me since I was very young. I remember maybe the adults around me don't feel this way, and maybe they do put things in a pedestal, and they feel like things are too good, or they don't deserve that, they are not worthy of that. But I remember when I was young, and I'll go to these very like luxury places, for example in London, in Harrods. I remember being there and feeling so at ease, just feeling like I belonged there. I didn't feel this thing of like, wow. I just felt fascinated by the beauty, but I felt, yes, I am worthy to experience such things, because of course, because I'm me, I exist. And that time I didn't know these things, but I already felt that royalty within me. And this is something that I'm going to touch on, is that royalty within you. And when I speak about this royalty within you, it doesn't mean that you belong to the royal family of the United Kingdom. That's not it, because many times those people that belong to the royal family, they don't have a mindset of royalty. They don't live internally in a state of abundance, of fulfillment, of love, of unlimitedness, knowing that they are one with everything, knowing that they are in service through love, through source, that they are one with source, they are an expression, an unique expression of the source. They don't know that. So many times, like people from the royal families, they still live internally in a scarcity mindset, in separation. So in royalty, I mean, is claiming our God like nature, because this is who we are. We have this greatness, this unlimitedness, this infiniteness, this love, this abundance that we can't even perceive. We can't even understand with our mind, with a human mind, the amount of love, the amount of greatness, the amount of power that we have within us, the worthiness, the value. That is royalty. That is knowing that you are royal, that you are a god, that you are a goddess, that you are absolutely divine. And when you know that, there's nothing that is like too good for you, or there's nothing that is impossible for you, or there's nothing that you don't deserve. And I went on this solo trip to claim this. I deserve everything regardless of the conditions of my life, regardless how much money I make, how many followers I have, how many people I inspire, how many friends I have, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. When you go within and you have this deep, like, decision of, I'm tired of not accepting that I am loved unconditionally. I'm tired of not loving myself unconditionally. That doesn't depend on any condition. And when you go and claim that unconditional love, unconditional value and worth, that's when you tap and remember your royalty, your goddess energy, your God energy. That is who you are. And that's why it feels so good when you are in that energy. That is the truth. When you were younger, you knew this. Every time you're daydreaming, every time I was, for example, in those places that I adore, I already felt that energy. I felt like I belong here. There's no separation. If people tell you, yes, you can't be here because you don't earn this amount of money, you can't be here because you still don't have that, whatever, that's a lie, and I don't care about that. For me, that's like the stupidest thing. I know I deserve to be there. I know that I'm worthy. I exist. I am here. I am a creator. I am this loving energy, and everything moves through me. So everything happens from me. And you are one with everything. You are one with that luxury store. You are one with that millionaire's bank account. You are one with all the nature. You are one with everything. There's no separation. So when I was there in Monaco, this state of neutrality is the state of the wish fulfillment. I was living during this trip things that I imagined, that I did visualizations, and I, for a long period, put it on a pedestal. Even in beginning of this year was the moment where I started working remotely, traveling, doing everything that I love. And before, I put this lifestyle in a pedestal, and now it's normal for me. It's neutral. I wake up and it's neutral. It was neutral to go to the airport. It was neutral to have that freedom of schedule and that financial abundance to treat myself nicely and to go where I want to go and to follow my enthusiasm and excitement. It was all neutral and normal because that's the new version. That's your reality now. That's your internal reality. So it becomes neutral. You just feel very excited in the beginning, and then it just becomes neutral. You do feel excited. You do feel very fulfilled. I do feel excited, and I feel so much fulfillment and so much peace, you know? And also another insight that I wanted to share with you was a moment that I had because I went to this place called Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat. It was gorgeous. I went there to a villa, beautiful villa that also really made me feel so connected with my feminine energy. The feminine energy was there was so high, and I felt so much like a queen, a goddess, a royalty being there and being surrounded by that beauty, by that high energy, and by that abundance. It just made me really tap into my inner child, to be honest, and really feel all that love and all that dreaminess that I felt, all that abundance that I felt when I was younger. Everything that I remember daydreaming and already living and jumping into different reality was when I was younger. And then by growing up, we stop ourselves. We buy into certain ideas, certain beliefs and stories that say that those things are not possible, that we have to do certain path, or that we have to become worthy of that. And it was an experience of awakening that inner child of me, and everything that she already knew about herself, and that pure innocence, beautiful energy that we have, all of us we have within us. And that it's an experience hard to describe by words because it's something that I feel. It's this awakening and remembrance of our nature when we were, for example, little kids, and that energy where we knew exactly what we wanted. We knew exactly what excited. We knew it in our body that was possible. The internal reality was always more important to us than the physical world. And then we learned that the physical world is what matters and so on. And now we are remembering that the physical world is just a mirror of my internal reality. And that villa is so gorgeous. I totally recommend. I can share the name down below. With a lot of different gardens, the most amazing views, so much beauty, luxury. I just love it. And then when I was in the Saint-Jean Cap Ferrat, so it's a cape, in the later afternoon, I did walk through a part of the cape, and the energy there was immaculate. The energy was so high, so feminine. I felt such a strong energy there. I was like, what is this place? And it was funny because I felt such a high energy and feminine energy, and I only found women. There were only women walking that path, and they were all having that light around them. They were feeling so joyful and happy to be there. They were having this light around them. And I loved it. And then there was a moment when I was coming back from my little walk from the Cape. I returned to one place where there was a seat there, and the sun was really like pointing towards the seat. And I was like, okay, I want to sit here. And in front of the seat, you have the sea, and you have the trees, and you have the rays of the sun really coming through the trees, the pine trees there. And I was like, I'm going to sit here. And when I sat there, I really remember this moment that I have visualized maybe for last year and in the beginning of this year. I don't do that many anymore. But I remember having these visualizations that I did for like a year and a half, where I was imagining and visualizing myself and this higher version of myself. That's in a moment where what I did, but now I know that those higher versions, they are just versions of me available to me right now, waiting for me to choose them and to be it. But in that time, it was like the higher version of me. That's the way I looked at it. And I remember having that visualization in my meditation and really I remember imagining myself being in south of France, sitting down, facing the sun, the sea, and really feeling this state of peace, of wholeness, of complete. That state of there's nothing to fix, there's nothing to solve. Everything I ever desire, I have it. Everything that I aspire to be, I am that. You know, in those moments where everything is done. It's all done. I'm complete, I'm whole, I'm in peace internally. I feel abundant. I am a billionaire, millionaire, abundant. I do what I love. I have family, a relationship that I love. Everything. I felt whole and complete. And when I did for that 1 year and a half, those visualizations, many times I saw myself as that higher version in those meditations, but then I will do my day as being another version. So now I'm all about embodying the version in daily life, in every moment. It's not only when you're doing 10 minutes of meditation, then you jump back into another version. So in that moment when I was sitting there, I remember that vision that I had in those visualizations, and I remember that my mind maybe in that moment said, but maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you don't have everything you want, or maybe you're not everything you want right now. And it was a very brief thought, but I remember in that moment I was like, who stops me? I can now choose to access and to embody and to be this version of me. So I closed my eyes with the sun in front of me, and I was like, you know what? I am this version right here, right now. No more waiting for any external circumstance to tell me if I can be this version, because this is stupid when you understand how reality works. The world outside is the way it is because you are the way it is. So if you are waiting for the world outside to change, so then you change, this is a vicious loop that will continue. But when you recognize who you are, you shift, and then the rest is taken care of. It shifted in the external reality. So in that moment, I closed my eyes and I felt, this is who I am now. This is who I was always. I am all this version. So this version is who I am. And in that moment, I closed my eyes and I chose to be this version. It's a decision, it's a choice. I didn't care about any conditions. I didn't care. I was like, I am this. I'm choosing, I'm deciding. Who's stopping me? Who's stopping me? No one. So I closed my eyes and I felt this sense of wholeness, of completeness, of peace. I felt one with everything in the world. I felt like I have everything in the world. I am not lacking anything. I am fulfilled. I am loved. I am abundant. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am free. I'm liberated. I'm joyful. I'm creating. And I felt all of that in that moment because I did choose that. I made a choice. So I could still sit there and think to myself, no, I'm not that version yet, so let me just be this version. I don't really it's not my favorite one, but let me just be, because that's the conditions that I have now. So I'm just going to be it and wait for the next years that maybe when it comes the right moment, maybe I will decide and choose to be that version. You could stay waiting and waiting for years and years and years, waiting for something to happen outside of you, to then give you the permission slip to be and choose to be that version. That is an illusion. I've been there. Let go that. Let go that. Because understand that the world is the way you are, not the opposite way. You are the cause that creates the effects in the external world. So you can now choose whatever you want to choose. You can now choose to be a new identity, to play with it. Have fun with it. Why are we putting so much heaviness on this? Have fun. Play with your identity. Play with the versions. Everything is available. Follow your excitement. Follow your enthusiasm. Don't wait anymore. And this is what I really landed on me when I was in this moment. I was like, yeah, I could have waited for years and years forever doing this visualization and this meditation for like 10 minutes every day and still waiting for something to then choose and to accept and to recognize that I am this version. That's why I can tap into it. Otherwise, you couldn't tap into it. Everything is available to you. Everything is done. So don't wait years and years. Do it now. Be it now. Choose it now. Ask every day. I remember when I was in France, like I saw this online, and I remember every day I will ask myself how my most fulfilled version would do right now. What she will say, what she will do. And maybe it will be looking at the sky, because I just love to. Or maybe it will be, instead of scrolling, I would read a book with my attention, or I will walk to a center street and really feel at ease and relaxed, and I will follow my enthusiasm and my excitement. I will dress the way I want to dress. I will speak about what I want to speak. I will make a video when I feel like making a video. Those are the things. Those are choices that we do in every second, because all we have is here now. It doesn't matter anything else. What matters is the now. So in that moment, in that now, because that's all I had, in that moment when I was sitting there, I recognized all I have is the now. Everything that exists is in the now. This version of me, is who I am, is available to me. I am her now. The future is an illusion, the past is an illusion. Everything is happening now. That's everything you've got. So why are you waiting? Why are you waiting for something? So these were the things that I really wanted to share about my trip in the French Riviera. Let me know if you wanted to know more about it. Where did I go? Certain recommendations. And yes, if you enjoyed this episode, you can comment, you can like the video, you can rate the podcast, you can share your questions in the Spotify. And I'm so excited to be here. I'm so looking forward as well for the next travels. I'm really feeling continued traveling and just being myself and expressing who I am, who I was born to be. Who are you born to be? Be that version, be that expression. Express yourself unlimitedness. Try new things. Let yourself shift. You are shifting billions of times all the time. Whenever you have a new idea, a new perception, you change your mind, you are changing and shifting billions and billions of times. So changing is easy. So now you can change and shift to whatever you appreciate the most. Okay, so I'm sending so much love. I'm so happy you are here, and I see you on the next video.